As Facebook's shares plunged a day after the company reported dismal quarterly earnings, Zuckerberg's net worth dropped $11 billion on October last year to $36 billion, as the company's value plummeted by $700 billion. Virtual reality is being heavily promoted by Facebook parent Meta Platforms, but its actual reality appears to be a disaster. Mark Zuckerberg and Satya Nadella say the metaverse is the future of the internet, or maybe it's just a video game. In the past few months, the metaverse has caught on to many tech news channels, with the buzz amplifying. The metaverse seems to be the topic of conversation almost everywhere, whether it's about their vision, the metaverse development, or even living in it. This video will show you how Mark Zuckerberg lost $30 million in his failing metaverse after spending $36 billion on it. Before Facebook turned Meta, it had a market cap of $1 trillion, placing it in rarefied territory with a few US tech giants. But now, Zuckerberg's year has not been going so well. Meta stock reached its peak during the pandemic on September 7th, 2021, raising Zuckerberg's fortune to $136.4 billion. Meta shares have plummeted by 74% since then, and Zuckerberg has lost $100 billion, nearly 3/4 of his fortune. As well as using its metaverse unit, Meta is facing fierce competition from TikTok for ad dollars, and advertisers are pulling back amid recession fears. The social network's advertising woes have been compounded by Apple's privacy changes last year, which have made tracking users across apps harder. A network effect built Facebook's business. Advertisers soon followed, and the company's profits were plentiful, providing the capital to keep recruiting engineers. The cycle has reversed in 2022. Users are jumping ship, advertisers are reducing spending, and Facebook's once ubiquitous social login button is being removed. As Mark Zuckerberg spends much time discussing the metaverse, the company's future, but at a cost of billions a year and with little near-term revenue, recruitment is a challenge. Within a decade, Zuckerberg hopes the metaverse will reach 1 billion people and lost hundreds of billions of dollars in digital commerce. It wasn't until Mark Zuckerberg said he would not give up on the metaverse that he realized that would be another downside. What is metaverse? In order to understand how vague and complex the term the metaverse can be, try substituting it for cyberspace in a sentence. It doesn't really refer to any specific technology type, but rather a broad change in technology use. When companies talk about the metaverse, they can refer to technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality, which combine elements of the digital and physical worlds. VR or AR need not be used exclusively to access these spaces. Metaverses are virtual worlds accessible via PCs, game consoles, and even smartphones like Fortnite. A new digital economy is also on the agenda for many companies that have jumped on board the metaverse bandwagon. As an idealistic vision of the metaverse, it is interoperable, so virtual items such as clothes and cars can be transferred from one platform to another. However, this is a challenge. In spite of claims by some advocates, portable digital assets cannot be achieved using new technologies like NFTs, and moving items between games or virtual worlds is an enormously complex undertaking. As we mentioned earlier, Meta's share price is falling due to poor results and Mark Zuckerberg's commitment to the metaverse. Last year, Meta's share price fell below $100 in pre-market trading, which meant its value had dropped almost 25%. In its latest results, Meta reported weak performance across its various apps, including Facebook and Instagram. In spite of the negative reaction to its efforts so far, investors were concerned when the chief executive said he would continue investing in the metaverse. In his view, the company's future lies in augmented reality and virtual reality, with people wearing headsets communicating digitally. In addition to developing hardware for people's heads, the company has also invested in software worlds to live in. It has, however, been widely mocked for its results. A recent announcement that the company had finally added legs to people's virtual bodies was met with ridicule. Mr. Zuckerberg faced criticism for his dead-eyed avatar and poor quality avatar. In an October conference call, Zuckerberg expressed confidence in Meta's future. As the company transforms into a virtual reality behemoth, investors are doubtful it can power the next phase of Meta's development. Despite the fact that such strategic pivots take years to execute, as IBM and Microsoft did when they switched from hardware to software, Meta has had poor early returns. In the first 9 months of the year, Meta lost $9.4 billion on Reality Labs, its metaverse unit. In 2023, Meta expects the unit to have significantly larger operating losses. The fledgling metaverse hasn't exactly attracted consumers, so investors are skeptical. Metaverse Problems. There's a groping problem in Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse. One of the least surprising issues plaguing Zuckerberg's company involves the personal space of people on Horizon Worlds, Facebook's virtual reality platform where users can host boring business meetings with clunky cartoon avatars instead of real-life headsets. A personal boundary has been implemented by Meta to stop users from harassing each other in the simulacrum due to obnoxious users. Based on the company's statement last February, the barrier will, default, make you feel as though your avatar is almost 4 feet away from others, and that haptic feedback is not available. This rule is intended to introduce some behavioral norms, such as not harassing strangers sexually. The experience of sexual harassment in virtual reality is even more intense. Initially, Facebook implemented hand harassment measures, in which avatars' hands would disappear in case they invaded someone's privacy. However, given the prevalence of sexual harassment online, perhaps they should have foreseen its severity. Given the founders' first venture was a hot or not college website, it isn't surprising that they failed. Additionally, the metaverse poses risks to safety, privacy, work, resources, and inequality. In today's technology, these issues are also raised, but the increased connectivity and integration of the metaverse threatens to either aggravate or alter their nature. With metaverse technologies, large amounts and types of data are created and collected, posing a major privacy threat. In a 3D environment, users will interact with content and other users in highly detailed ways, much more so than on current online platforms do today. Security and privacy concerns abound. Almost any metaverse ecosystem includes IoT devices, wearables, and sensors. Multiple hardware vendors process a lot of sensitive user behavior in real time. According to Zuckerberg, people won't want to be impersonated. That's a huge security issue in the metaverse. All of these issues, including hijacked accounts, bots, and age verification, will be important to monitor. Having the ability to verify user identity will be crucial for metaverse creators and stakeholders. For user verification, Zuckerberg and others are already exploring biometrics. Thus, they can add biometric data to the colossal amount of financial and personal data that we will collect while working, socializing, and shopping. With these many surrounding controversies, just like the Meta, then known as Facebook, which Zuckerberg faced over the last decade as he became one of the world's most powerful people. From unsolicited psychological tests in 2014, misinformation surrounding the 2016 election, Analytica scandal in 2018, and the genocide incident in the same year, it's no wonder he tried to clean its reputation by changing its name. But what exactly is the real reason for Facebook to change its name to Meta? Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook, desperately wants you to believe it will make the future come true. Mark Zuckerberg announced that Facebook would be rebranding and reorienting itself to focus on the metaverse. In the year 2021, Facebook tried to make the metaverse happen. The announcement in The Verge was a splashy one, courtesy of Zuckerberg himself. This meant building out an embodied internet, where instead of just viewing content, you are part of it. The metaverse is one of Facebook's 3 primary driving forces, and it's so important that one of its largest tech giants renamed itself after it. A major reason is perception. These big swings come at the same time as Facebook's already tarnished reputation is being trampled by whistleblowers, damning reports, congressional hearings, and the Facebook papers. Despite the fact that Facebook has been trying to make the metaverse happen in 2021, it has been overshadowed by scandals. It has been Facebook that's been affected. Facebook's year will be remembered for stepping on the rakes it laid out for itself in a recursive circle. It is accused of hiding data gathered by its own researchers, failing to stop violence and sex trafficking groups, and seeing the January 6th insurrection unfold on Facebook. Hence, Facebook would be eager to shift attention away from its scandalized social media business and focus on something bigger, flashier, and more inspiring. It has been compared to Google's reorganization as Alphabet in 2015, but this was different. Google was restructuring and trying to avoid antitrust complaints. Public relations driven, this decision seems more reactionary. As Meta's shares plummeted last November following yet another dismal earnings report, most analysts attributed the company's troubles to Mark Zuckerberg's fascination with Meta. Zuckerberg's metaverse experiment has been underwhelming to date, but these analysts are missing the bigger picture. The company has a much bigger problem in that it is failing to assess and mitigate risk long-term and short-term. The company's future is uncertain until Meta changes direction fundamentally. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.